It's Nick here. Today I'm going to show you how to make a backpacking cook set for under $5. Cook sets for backpacking or survival can be pretty pricey, and a lot of us don't have extra money to spend right now. I bought this titanium Snow Peak pot for $40. That's pretty expensive. For under $5, you can have a cook set that works just as good and will last you a long time. The main components that you need for a cook set would be a pot, some sort of stove, and eating utensils. With those three things you can boil water for backpacking food such as dehydrated or freeze-dried food. You can cook any kind of meat that you might procure through trapping or hunting, and I think it's great because you can carry it with you. You don't have to start fire with a wood if you have an alcohol stove, and that's great for me because I live in Arizona. Right now with the wildfires going on, it's illegal to have a wood fire or a charcoal fire. I think it's a statewide ban on fires right now. So alcohol stoves you can use. They don't burn wood or charcoal. So for my cook sets, I have a few different options here. You can get a pot like this. I found this at the thrift store for $2. Stainless steel, really good, well made. I think that would last you a lifetime if you took care of it. Right here, another stainless steel, kind of a bowl pot thing. It's got a flat base, work perfect with an alcohol stove. This little guy I would use more as a drinking cup, but I got this with this pot for $1.50. And my alcohol stoves. I make these out of I make this one out of soda cans. This one I've made out of a water bottle from the dollar store. And I made these ones out of an energy drink bottle. They don't make these bottles anymore, but I believe you can still get Bud Light bottles, aluminum bottles that are about the same size, and they'll work just as good. And if you want some really inexpensive eating utensils, go to the grocery store, get some disposable fork, spoon, anything you want, whatever you prefer, and they work great. If you take care of them, they'll last you a while. If you want a spork, you can get them at Taco Bell. I always will have a knife with me if I ever need to cut any of my food. And that pretty much sums up my cook set. Alright, so let's do a little cook test with one of my cook sets here. Let's see, I'll pair up this alcohol stove with this pot, and I'm going to show you a good option for a meal when you're backpacking or if you're surviving. So right here I have some Jack's Link steak, beef steak teriyaki jerky. I also have some top ramen here, which is very cheap, not very highly nutritional, but it does give you carbohydrates and energy. So I'm going to try to make a little soup here with the ramen noodles, and I'm going to add the teriyaki into it, and we'll see how that tastes. So in order to use this alcohol stove, I have a little primer plate here. I'm going to put a few drops of alcohol in that. And then I'm going to add alcohol to the center of the stove. I'm just guesstimating on how much to use here. Now I'm going to kill the lights so you can see the flames. Okay. Now I like to crunch up the noodles in my ramen packets before I put them in the water, so I break it into about fourths. I'm going to add my water. Add my flavor packet. And I'm going to add the jerky. Looks like I started my stove a little too early. It's been burning for a while here, but I'm going to cut this jerky into smaller pieces. And this jerky will really help to give protein to me, add some protein to this meal. Alright, so we'll let this boil up and I'll let you know how it tastes. Alright, so it took about 5 minutes to boil up this ramen, and it's nice and soft now. I'm going to take it off the heat and let it cool. Just grab it here with a bandana. And I'm going to use one of my other pots to snuff out the flames here. Okay. So after this cools off, do a taste test, let you know how it is. Okay, so I've given this ramen some time to cool down, and I'm going to do a little taste test. That is really good. The teriyaki adds a really good, the teriyaki jerky adds a really good flavor to this ramen noodles, and it's going to add more protein and make this a much better meal for me. That is very good. On its own, top ramen is pretty, it's not very great, but adding meat to it makes it wonderful. Excuse me. So this was Nick. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this video and learned something. I know backpacking and survival type cook sets can be kind of pricey, and I hope this is a good way for you to get a cheap cook set that works. Thanks.